Camels are often underestimated, but when challenged, they prove themselves as powerful and strategic fighters, easily dominating horses, wolves, and even towering giraffes. These surprising confrontations highlight the strength, intelligence, and sheer presence that make camels such formidable opponents. What began as a minor provocation between a seemingly calm camel and a spirited horse quickly turned into a dramatic standoff. At first, it was nothing more than a few assertive steps and tense eye contact, an exchange of dominance. The horse, known for its speed and elegance, stood tall and proud, muscles tensed, ready to assert its ground. But the camel, often underestimated due to its slow and deliberate movements, was not one to back down. With a sudden surge of energy, the camel rose to its full height, towering over the horse with an imposing presence. Its deep, guttural growl broke the silence, followed by a thunderous charge that shook the ground beneath their hooves. The horse, startled by the camel's unexpected aggression and sheer power, faltered. Its initial confidence vanished in an instant. A goat, known for its boldness and stubborn spirit, found itself in a dangerous miscalculation. Fueled by either misplaced confidence or sheer instinct, it lowered its head and charged straight at a camel with full force. Its horns collided with the camel's sturdy side, but the impact was laughably insignificant against the massive frame of the larger animal. The camel barely flinched, only turning its head slightly to assess the situation, as if mildly annoyed rather than threatened. What happened next was swift and savage. With surprising speed and precision, the camel lunged forward, clamping its powerful jaws onto the goat's back. A deep, guttural snarl escaped the camel as it lifted the goat off the ground and shook it violently from side to side. The goat's legs flailed helplessly in the air as the brutal force of the assault overwhelmed its smaller body. In the unforgiving desert, survival often hinges on strength, strategy, and timing. But when maternal instinct is involved, those rules can shift entirely. One such moment unfolded beneath the scorching sun, where a mother camel and her young calf found themselves targeted by two opportunistic wolves. The predators knew what they were doing. They didn't attack blindly. Instead, they stalked from a distance, carefully watching the pair, waiting for the right moment to strike. Their plan was clear: distract and separate. If they could isolate the calf, the hunt would be easy. But what they didn't count on was the ferocity of a mother defending her own. As the wolves closed in, the mother immediately positioned herself between them and her calf, lowering her head and issuing a low, threatening growl. When one wolf tried a feint to the left, she charged with explosive force, kicking up clouds of sand as her powerful legs lashed out. In most confrontations, especially against solitary animals, they hold the advantage. But even the most strategic hunters can meet their match, and in the heart of a moonlit desert, a determined camel proved exactly that. Towering above most creatures in the animal kingdom, giraffes are often seen as serene giants, graceful, composed, and seemingly untouchable due to their immense height and long, powerful legs. But in the wild, or even within the confines of a shared enclosure, dominance isn't always determined by stature alone. And one particularly persistent camel made that point clear in a chase that defied expectations. It began with a seemingly harmless standoff. The giraffe, calm and aloof, had been grazing peacefully when a camel approached with a different energy, head held high, eyes locked, its posture stiff with tension. Whether it was territorial instinct, a challenge for dominance, or simply irritation, the camel wasn't looking for peace. With a sudden snort and an aggressive charge, the camel lunged forward. The giraffe, startled, lifted its head and turned sharply, hooves clattering against the hard ground as it began to move. Not every confrontation in the animal world ends in violence. Sometimes, it's more about pride than power, more about posture than real aggression. Such was the case on a quiet farm, where an unexpected rivalry unfolded between a camel and a cow, two animals not known for combat, yet drawn into a slow-building standoff that caught the attention of every creature nearby. It began innocently enough. The camel wandered into the pasture, where a few cows were grazing, its long legs and curious gaze making it an unusual presence in the otherwise familiar field. One cow, perhaps feeling territorial or simply unimpressed by the visitor's towering frame, stepped forward. Without warning, the two locked horns literally in a tense but controlled pushing contest. Their heads pressed together, muscles straining, hooves digging into the dirt as each tried to force the other backward. There were no kicks, no bites, just brute strength and quiet determination. Dust swirled around them as the standoff drew out, neither willing to give in easily. Around them, other farm animals gathered, intrigued by the slow-motion showdown. Even the humans working nearby paused to watch the unusual scene unfold. Despite the cow's size and stubbornness, it soon became clear that the camel held the advantage. Its longer legs gave it better leverage, and its neck strength, often underestimated, proved formidable. Inch by inch, the camel began to drive the cow backward. But just as the tension threatened to escalate, a third cow stepped in. The heat was sweltering, the flies relentless, and the animals irritable. It didn't take much to light the fuse. The spark came when the donkey, perhaps agitated by the camel's looming presence or simply acting on impulse, reached out and bit the camel's leg. It wasn't a deep wound, but it was enough, a sharp, unexpected jab that drew an instant and explosive reaction. The camel reared back with a guttural cry, its eyes wide with fury. Despite being tethered, it lunged forward, nearly crushing the donkey under its massive chest and legs. The ground shook as the camel stomped and twisted, trying to get a clear strike. The donkey brayed and scrambled backward, ears pinned, its earlier defiance now replaced with panic. Camels are often misunderstood, seen as slow, docile creatures meant only for carrying burdens across the desert. But when provoked, these giants reveal an entirely different side. Beneath their calm exterior lies a warrior spirit, powerful, strategic, and fiercely resilient. Time and again, they have proven their might in confrontations that defy expectations. Whether facing off against swift horses, cunning wolves, or even towering giraffes, camels rise to the challenge with unwavering confidence. Their size